Hey, good day everyone. My name is Miot and welcome to our ED 304 class, the teacher and the community, school culture and organizational leadership. Now in this video, I will be tackling about the organizational culture of school, its description, levels, and then its function. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, a school's organizational culture provides a sense of identity, promotes achievement orientation, helps shape standards and patterns of behavior, creates distinct ways of doing things, and then determines the direction for future growth. Now, the organizational culture of the school is often taken for granted, but it is a subject that needs greater focus and understanding of school-based professionals. Now, in general, organizational culture refers to a set of common values, attitudes, beliefs, and norms, some of which are explicit and some of which are not. So in many ways, organizational culture is invisible, although it can be both conscious and unconscious, but at the same time, it serves as the glue that binds and builds a sense of cohesion within this course. Now, organizational culture can be found in shared relationships among colleagues, norms within the school environment, student and teacher relations, and then sharing experiences. Now, according to Edgar Shin, there are 3 levels of organizational culture in schools. Number 1 is artifacts. The second one is espoused values. And the last one is underlying assumptions. Now, the first one is the artifacts. Artifacts is a visible organizational structures and processes. Now, artifacts, it include organizational cultures or structures and processes that are apparent, that are visible, accessible, and tangible. Now, it consists of all the tangible things that human beings make use of and give value to. The material component varies from culture to culture. Now, it is based on the technological state that society has achieved and understood. Looking at society's artifacts, artifacts include the type of housing where people live, the furniture that they use, and other material goods that they possess. Now, let's move on to the second one, which is the espoused values. So, it is a strategy, goals, and philosophies. Now, it is the society's values and norms which guides and regulates behavior. Now, in other words, it consists of values, beliefs, and rules by which society directs people's interactions. Now, understanding culture means understanding its values. And as we all know, values are shared standards of acceptable and unacceptable, good and bad, desirable and undesirable. Now, values are abstract. Very general concepts are expressed by the norms. So, norms are rules and guidelines set for proper attitudes and behavior in specific situations. So, among the values, the culture holds some core and or central values while others are peripheral values. Now, values are the deeply held enduring values that guide our actions, our judgments, and the specific behaviors supporting our efforts to realize essential aims. Now, the third one is the underlying assumptions. It is unconscious, taken for granted beliefs, habits of perception, thought, and feeling. Now, it is related to people's knowledge about the universe's creation and existence. Now, this aspect is based on people's observation of certain factual evidence that they have. So an individual of a backward culture believes in God's superstitions and other objects as a part of their cognitive aspect. But in a technologically advanced society, the cognitive aspect is based on scientific experiments and their applications. Now, the cognitive component of an advanced society's culture is quite distinct from of a primitive one because of the refinement of knowledge through specific or systematic testing and observation. Now, let us proceed to the functions of culture. So, culture has been fulfilling several functions which may be divided into two. So, first is for individual and the second one is for the group. Now, the functions of the individual is first, culture distinguishes man from animal. So, it is the culture that makes a human and animal a man. It regulates his conduct and prepares him for a good life. Without culture, he would have been forced to find his way, which would have meant a loss of energy. So the second function for the individual is that culture provides solutions for the complicated situations. Now, culture provides a man with a set of behavior for difficult situations. And without culture, a man would have been baffled even in the simplest situations. And culture not only defines but also determines what we eat and drink, when to sleep, and when to laugh. The third one is culture provides traditional interpretations of a certain situations. Now, through culture, man gets traditional interpretations for many situations according to which he determines his behavior. Now let's move on to the fourth one, which is the culture shapes personality. Now, no childhood can develop human qualities in the absence of a cultural environment. Culture prepares man for group life. It is the culture that provides opportunities for the development of personality and sets limits on its growth. So that's the functions of culture's function to the individual. Now let's move on to the functions for the group. The first one is culture keeps social relationship intact, meaning culture has importance not only for men but also for the group. Culture prepares man for group life. So group life would have been poor, nasty, and short if there had been no cultural regulations. Group solidarity rests on the foundation of the culture. Now, the second one is culture has given a new vision to the individual. Now, culture has given a new vision to the cooperation of individuals. And culture teaches him to think of himself as a part of a larger whole. It provides him with the concepts of family, states, and nations, and makes possible the coordination and division of culture. Now, let's move on to the last of functions for the group, which is the culture creates new needs. Finally, culture also creates new needs and rights. For example, there is knowledge and arranges further satisfaction, and it satisfies the moral and religious interest of the members of the group. So that's it. That's the my part. That's the description, levels, and functions of culture, the organizational culture of school. And I hope you have learned something out of our discussion. So, That's it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.